Hi guys, it's Levis from the A&O show. I am here to review the First Omen. So, from what I heard, it's a prequel to the movie The Omen. I really like the actor playing the main character, and there's some other actors in there that I'm like, oh, I know them. I think the older gentleman from older vampire from Underworld is there, and there's some other people that I'm like, oh, I've seen them in other movies, so I'm like, let me check this out. And so far, I try to stay away from like spoilers and stuff like that from others, but so far they've been saying that it's a good movie, so I'm gonna go check it out. So I went, and the movie's good. Like overall, the tension, the what the hell is going on, like even the storytelling and the characters, and then like when you make you think like, oh, this is the person, and it kind of like flips it back at you and be like, makes you doubt. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm wrong, or maybe like it just I forgot what the word is called, like surprises you, or like takes you on a swerve. It swerves you a couple of times. I'm like, huh. At the end, it ended up being the same result and everything like that, but it's like something like you won't expect. And when you find out, it's like when you find out the conclusion, like what it actually is, not the conclusion, but like who is the baby, and whatever the case may be, that's meant to go into the past. Which it's gonna sound confusing at first, but I'm gonna have to spoil the movie. But it'd be like when they find out, and it's like, oh, like, okay, I kind of knew that, but I'm like, oh, but what are they gonna do about it right now? Like, it's like so much stuff happened, so much tension happened, and it's like you finally feel a breather, like they're out of the freaking place. But then I'm like, oh, but you're the one that they're trying to kill or take or whatever the case may be. So I'm like, no, like you still not safe. Like they put like the perfect time, be like, oh shit, like I knew it. It's like in moments like I knew it, but oh shit, at the same time. So the movie's pretty much about, I guess, between two churches in a way, one that's for good and one that's for bad, and the one that's for bad, like they're kind of like sneaking, they're trying to make the first, I guess, antichrist or first omen or whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it. And as you turn out, as like they put a picture of a baby in there, and you're trying to find out, okay, so who exactly is that baby, and what is going on, and what is significant of that baby. And apparently they're like, oh, that's the baby's mother, who would have the womb of the, the demon baby or the antichrist or whatever the case may be. Um so it goes into it like this girl, now she's like a teenager slash in her 20s or whatever, and she tries to she becomes a nun, she goes into the church and stuff like that, but she realized like there's something's off with the church, and a certain child basically that they kind of exclude and hide and punish and torture and stuff like that. And it's like, at first I'm like, okay, this is like a misdirect and whatever the case may be, but then when you start to think about it and more stuff starts happening, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's not a misdirect, maybe she is the girl, and then she just happened to find her, and whatever the case may be. So it kind of have you doubt on like whether the main character is the baby in the photo, or the young girl, which she's like probably like 12 years old or 10 years old or whatever. Is she the girl in the photo, and whatever the case may be. Then as the movie progresses, it starts getting more tension, and like, left and right, takes you left and right, and with DM swerves, and I'm like, oh, they've been experimenting. Then you find out that they've been experimenting on babies, and whatever the case may be. So they're trying to find out if that's the girl, the main character that I found out is that's the girl that she's trying to save. Like they're doing something to her, and whatever the case may be. And then there's also a backstory, which all of these stories pretty much like all these stories pretty much connect in a way. So when you go into it's like she befriend a girl befriends what's it called, a girl, and then when she befriends them, basically they were like, oh, like they went clubbing, but when they went clubbing, like something happened and she blacks out, and like you don't know what it is, and at the end, towards the end of it, like like every single thing that's been there has all been set up in a way, but not for the girl, but for the main character in a way. But meanwhile, that friend slash roommate that went to the club, she was pregnant, and then she had her pregnancy, and then they didn't really want to show the baby or whatever the case may be, and then she just full on went like a 360. Like first she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go clubbing, I don't care, blah blah blah," and out of nowhere she's just like straight as a nun, like obedient, and like, oh, like just went like a whole complete opposite of what she was. So when when they find out like there's some documents, you gotta go get it. Do you trust the other church? Who's lying? Who's protecting the truth? Like what is the other people willing to do to like to kill the prophecy or kill whatever the case may be? And then how do people want to take the prophecy away? And blah blah blah. And then like she hooked up with a guy, and then that becomes another a small storyline which all also interconnect, and he was part of the group in a way, I guess. But she didn't know, and then at the end, towards that moment that I talked about, like the last swerve, that she was with the guy, like she finally escaped because they didn't want to let her escape the church or wherever she was, basically in Italy. And she found out that she is the girl, and like how do I go about it, blah blah blah, stuff like that. And then they were like, we have to take it to the pub, that's the only way they could stop. And then they got stopped, and then I guess her baby, like she already became like anti-possessed, and whole crazy shit happened and whatever. And then basically she ended up having twins, and like why did she have twins? And like she wanted a boy, they wanted that she had a girl, they were going to kill the girl and the main character, the mom. And then the kid that she befriended basically saved them, and whatever the case may be. It was just a whole nutshell. And yeah, story, this movie's great story wise. I'm not talking about religion or anything like that or whatever. I'm just talking about story in general. The movie was great. The characters were great. The performances was great. The main character was great. Like it's not that often that I get fooled or I have doubt. Basically, I'm like, oh, this is gonna end up like this, and then I'm like, wait, I have to doubt myself. I'm like, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, and then it does end up like that, but not in the way I expected. And then the finale was just like, oh, I don't even know where this is going, type stuff, and whatever the case may be. And then we're like, oh, like this caught me by surprise, and the thrill, like it was tense. The movie was tense. It was a lot of tension in there. It was a lot of. It wasn't a scary movie. It was a creepy movie. Creepy, as it is. Like there are some scenes that are just creepy, and there are some scenes that I feel like for a couple of people that are hard to watch. But if you're looking for a good creepy time or horror movie or whatever the case may be, this is a good movie to go to. Um, yeah, this is the best I could say right now, and I really don't have that much nitpick for it, honestly. No, I don't think movie of the year or anything like that, but it's a good movie and it's up there. So I'm gonna give this of overall movie and how my entertainment was, what I thought this movie would be until how it actually was. I'm gonna give this a 8.5 out of 10. Like, I know a lot of people are not gonna watch it because of their belief, or a lot of people are not gonna watch it because they don't like scary movies, and that's totally understandable. This movie might not be for you, but if you're into scary movies, you're good into a good haunting, a good possession movie, this or whatever. This is one of the good ones. So, if you watch the First Omen, tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe and give a like, and I'll see you guys next time.